On a positive note, at least we could say we were all right when it came to, Bubba and all that, and the suspension. Like, there's been a lot of things I've seen people do with comparisons. I will go over all of that at the end. You got the whole Ty Dillon thing, which I saw people saying that he deserved it because he just overdrives his car. I got all kinds of stats about that. F1's back. Yeah, at COTA, and I love COTA. We all know I love COTA. Should be a really good race, at least for second on back. I really don't think anyone's going to touch Max. Put it out there. No one has, no one will. And there's some other stuff going on this weekend as well to talk about that I'm curious to see how everything's going to go as the seasons are coming down to an end for pretty much all the major touring series that we see here in the US, a lot of them. So, a lot to discuss. And also, if you have a furry loved one, your dog, take a shot, beer, hug them tighter. For me, I had to put my best friend down the other day. Not in really the best, mood because of it. That absolutely sucked. But they're still racing. There's still stuff to move on to. There's still positive things to discuss. We'll start off first saying that NHRA Nevada Nationals are coming up at the Strip at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the 27th through the 30th. So they're off this weekend, as well as the Arc Menards West Series. They're off until the Desert Diamond Casino West Valley 100, November 4th, at the Phoenix Raceway to end the whole entire season there for everyone. And it's been a good season for them. Again, I already went over where the points were, but still, it's going to be a good race. They put on good races most of the time. I'm not a big fan of their plate stuff, but if you've ever watched it through the years, you get that. But they're both off, coming down to an end. Again, I believe NHRA Nevada Nationals is the second to last race. And then it is the last race for the Arc Menards West Series on November 4th. So those are coming down to an end, but positive note, big positive. At least for me, we all know how much I love F1, but they're finally back for the 2022 United States Grand Prix at COTA Sunday, 3 p.m. on ESPN, which actually means it starts at a reasonable time. That'd be Eastern for everybody. Yeah, listening, 2 o'clock Central. It's going to be a really, really good one. Glad to see them back finally, at the track where it was their only US state for the longest time this year. They added Miami next year. We're getting Las Vegas too because it's growing in popularity, which I think it very much deserves here in the US. Great racing through the field. It's just this year really hasn't been much at the beginning, at the front of the field because Max just driven away by everything again. 28 laps at the Singapore Japanese area. The Honda Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka, like they ran 28 laps after all the rain and everything, and he had a 25-second lead. I mean, he just drove away. It wasn't even a race. But last year, Max got the win. Shocker. Lewis Hamilton was second and only 1.3 seconds back. So at least he was there. But the only problem with that is the way he's running this year. And I say him, I mean, Max, way better than that. And Lewis, sadly, as we've seen, is down compared to recent years because Max's teammate Sergio Perez finished third last year at COTA, but he was 42 seconds back. I think it's going to be another one of those where he's just going to drive away, sadly. But Charles Leclerc was fourth, Daniel Ricciardo fifth, Valtteri Bottas sixth, Carlos Sainz seventh, Lando Norris eighth, Yuki Tsunoda ninth, and Sebastian Vettel was 10th. We also got George Russell 14th, driving for Williams. Mick Schumacher was 16th. And then Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly finished 18th, 19th, and 20th. And they were all three out of the race. Again, I'm not expecting, George obviously is going to do better this year, not in a Williams. He's been very consistent, minus, that one race where he got out to check on somebody with the car fine. They still, towed it back and he was done, which, again, I didn't really like the call there, but, it is what it is. But, that'll be the big difference there. I just want to see how much Max is going to win by. And again, the battle for points right now isn't for first. I mean, obviously he won already, but second place, Sergio Perez is at 252 and Charles Leclerc is in third at 250. Yeah, Sergio 253, Char 252. So only a point between them, a couple races left. That'll be a battle to see who's going to get second in the points for the season. And then the battle for fourth place is George Russell in fourth at 207 points, and Carlos Sainz is in fifth at 202. So those are the two big battles in points, and then everyone's I think the closest person after that was like 30 points back. So, at least there's a battle. Might not be for the championship, but a good one for second and third, and then a good one for fourth and fifth. And those guys have all been battling each other all year. So I think it's really just going to come down to strategy or who gets caught up in someone stupid or has a failure. They haven't had a lot of failures lately here. So I think that at least the Red Bulls are okay on that because they did start out sketchy, but been perfectly fine since then. It's got to see how, strategy plays out in this one for those guys. I think it's, going to be a great race for everyone, second place back. All right, Max has just been in a league of his own this season. Anyone that's watched it and tries to deny that, they're lying to you. Like that, he's been in a whole new world. So, gonna see what happens there. But I'm putting a safe bet on Max Verstappen to win because, well, when has he given us a reason to not think he was going to win this year? Which would be pretty much all but never, except for when he blew up. I think he's lost what 2 or 3 races, maybe that he actually finished. Like he's been in a whole new world. See how it goes. Moving on to NASCAR Truck Series, Baptist Health Care. Ooh. Baptist Health Cancer Care 200 Homestead Miami Speedway Saturday 1 p.m. Eastern on FS1. They didn't run there last year, so there's nothing to back it up off of. But the entry list sees Ryan Preece in the 17, and I say watch out for Ryan Preece. I think he's going to be really, really good in this situation. We know what he could do. I think he's going to be up there unless some bad luck happens. Chad Chastain's in the 44 again, Brandon Poole in the 46, and Parker Kligerman's going to be in the 75. Again, he always runs good. I'm just curious to see how good he runs. But the points going in above the cut line, Ty Majeski's first, Chandler Smith second at plus 30, Zane Smith's third at plus 18, Ben Rhodes is fourth at plus 3. And then obviously below the cut line right now, Christian Eckes is fifth at minus 3, Stuart Friesen sixth at minus 3, John Hernimchek seventh at minus 5, and then Grant Enfinger's eighth at minus 29, which means Grant's going to need to have a really fantastic weekend to try to gain as many points as he can because, I mean, look at those numbers there. Rhodes at plus 3, Eckes and Friesen at minus 3, and then John Hunter at minus 5. I mean, that could be as simple as getting stage points and someone else not because of strategy, bad qualifying, something. So I'm really curious to see what happens. I think obviously Chandler Smith, Zane Smith are going to be good. I think, John Hunter will have a good race unless something stupid happens. We got to see how all of that plays out. I think, again, Ty Majeski will be up there. Ben Rhodes, he'll be up there. There's a lot of guys that'll be up there. I just think that right now, KBM, the way everything's going, coming to an end of it all, well, at least the season, I just don't see them not having both Chandler and John Hunter in the championship 4. I could be wrong, but John Hunter can run and he's getting more track time because of the suspensions and all kinds of things happening because of Bubba and that. But I think it's going to be coming down to that. Stuart Friesen will run good. Just don't know how good, but Grant Enfinger, he's pretty much going to have to win. I'm pretty confident in saying that it's going to come down to that for him. Thankfully, they have Homestead, and then I believe they're going to Martinsville as well, which is going to make it. We know he could do on short tracks. We just have to see how all breaks down. I just want to see what Ryan Preece can do, really. And there's, people I've seen on different things talking about him, Stuart Haas, and how they're going to work everything out between him and Cole Custer. And big, long headache. I still think he deserves the Cup ride over, say, a few people that have Cup rides because he has the talent, the desire, the ability. He has everything you need. So I'm always excited when he gets to get behind the wheel of anything because I think he's more than deserving. Again, if you don't think so, you can comment and tell me. It's that easy, but I think he's going to be really good this weekend. I think you got to keep an eye out for him out of all the people that I mentioned that aren't always there. And Parker, man, he's going to be in the top 10 somewhere. He's just always competitive. Again, I wish he would get, full-time rides somewhere and something competitive. But seeing him, get the races he does and always runs good does put a smile on my face because, like, I really have always been a fan of his. So we'll see how everything goes, what kind of stupidity happens. There's always stupidity. And I want to see what Haley can do. That'd be Deegan, not Justin. To see, she can have a good run coming off of the good Xfinity Series run, to get all of that going. Because I still think, I said it before, I'll say it again, that she should do another truck season. See if she can get more consistent of that before going full time in the Xfinity Series off of one good run. Because she could do that. another truck run, try to get more experience in that and get more Xfinity Series runs at different types of tracks and everything, just to see what she can really do in the car before they do that. I just don't think it'd be fair, the right move to move her up now. But speaking of the Xfinity Series, the Contender Boats 300 Saturday 4:30 p.m. on USA Network, and they didn't run their last fall, only races at the beginning of last year. And the entry list has Parker Retzlaff in the 02. We know I'm a fan of him. Brendan Poole in the 6. Good to see it. David Starr in the 08. Trevor Bayne in the 18 again. I really do think he should get, one of those rides at Gibbs full time. I can't believe that Gibbs hasn't named anything yet, but they also let Kyle walk out the door. So, they might actually be having some serious trouble that no one knows about, but I can't believe they didn't name that already. Hopefully he gets it. Chandler Smith's going to be driving in the 26. Julia Landauer is going to be in the 44. Nicholas Sanchez in the 48. So there's some names in there. I want to see what Retzlaff can do. I don't think Brendan Poole is going to be a factor. Trevor Bayne, see what he can do. Chandler Smith, that's the big one, because we know he's got to be moving up sooner or later. So that'll be, exciting to see what he could do in the position, just to get experience, see what kind of run he gets. Julia Landauer again, see what she could do. And Nicholas Sanchez, after getting the East, the Arca Menards. I'm really curious. Just in the 48, because it hasn't been the best car, but it hasn't been the worst car. And I'd like to see what he can do in that, especially, at a place like Homestead. I'm curious about it. I mean, call me crazy, but the kid has talent. Now, just to see what he could, do with it. At least I'm not mad that he has the spot, like certain people whose name are Ty, and they only have rides because of who they're related to, because it sure is an awful accomplishments on the track. I'll get into it. But going into this race above the cut line, obviously, Josh Berry's in first, locked in the championship 4. Noah Gragson second at plus 44. I really don't see any reason why he's not battling for the championship, or really champion, at the way he's been running this year, and especially as of late. Ty Gibbs third at plus 25. Justin Allgaier fourth at plus 15. Then below the cut line, Austin Hill's fifth at minus 15. AJ Allmendinger sixth at minus 16. Brandon Jones seventh at minus 27. And Sam Mayer's eighth at minus 36. I think the two of them pretty much are going to have to win and in, just 27 and 36 points out. That's a big gap to make up. AJ could, get some stage points over an Austin Hill, which could help bump him up, automatically make that a lot easier for him. But if you listen to above the cut line, Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, Justin Allgaier, I don't see a reason why the four of them, aren't in the championship 4 unless AJ gets in. No offense to Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, or Sam Mayer. I just don't think they've had the consistency, this year. And some of them are just too far back to even really realistically do anything, in my opinion, unless they win their way in. We've seen people do it. In all honesty, I don't see anyone beating Noah this year. He's been too good. He's too on fire. And I think he's going to get it. Really, honestly, in my heart, I don't see anyone stopping him. He's just been too good. AJ's been hit or miss. I think, that they should be, the COTA guys should be better this weekend. I do think that, this track driving style, I just think it fits them. But, we got to wait and see, especially after how bad last weekend was for AJ, when he was just pissed off at everything and the car was garbage all day. Pretty much his words, not mine. So, got to see what those guys do, because, again, he can get stage points over Austin Hill. Like, Austin Hill finishes 11th. AJ wins the thing. That's 10 stage points and a bonus point. And then that goes from a large gap, 16, to suddenly he's at least above Austin Hill real quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then we have to wait and see what happens in Martinsville. But I just, he's the only one I could see. And who would he knock out? I mean, maybe a Justin Allgaier. I don't know. But the top 4, just the way they've been running all year. And with, Josh Berry locked in, Noah, Ty, and Justin, I think they've been too consistent. You can comment in and tell me what you think. You can leave voice messages on. If you go on Anchor, you can listen, leave me voice messages on the episode so I can get your opinion, try to play them on the show, which I think is exciting. But again, who do you think? I think AJ can get around Austin Hill easy. It's just really his only option after that is Allgaier, unless Allgaier wins, and that puts Ty Gibbs down there. And he has a pretty solid cushion right now. So I think it's going to be, you're going to have to win from being in the back there. The bottom 8, the bottom 4 of the 8 to get yourself in. That's just my feeling. That's how I think it's going to go down. Only time will tell, but should be a really good race. I do like the track since the reconfigure all that. Like, it's super racy, and Yeah, the Xfinity Series has been putting on pretty good races all year. So see what happens to see if anyone could beat Noah. Again, he's just the way he's running, kind of like Max right now. Beat him and I'll believe it. Consistently beat him and I'll believe it. That's the word I can't forget to put in there. But that brings us to the Cup Series Dixie Vodka 400 Sunday, 2:30 p.m. on NBC. And nothing really matters from last year anyway because the new car. So I don't have any of those stats because I don't think it matters. I mean, I think people that are good there are still going to be good there, but yeah, who knows how that's going to go? Tires, like there's so much stupid people through camber and air pressures causing tires to have extra wear and get beat up more. But William Byron's always been good there. People are looking at this to be his chance. So we'll see if that works out. Entry list has again AJ Allmendinger in the 16. One more time, Ty Gibbs is obviously in the 23. John Hunter Nemechek filling in the 45 because of Bubba's suspension. I think that was a good call on their part. See what he could do in good equipment. No offense to front row, but rookie coming into that in the not the best equipment because they weren't having enough, they weren't really up then. They're much better off now than they were then, but that wasn't going to work that one time. Noah Gragson in the 48 and Landon Castle in the 77. Above the cut line, Joey Logano's first, obviously locked in. Ross Chastain second at plus 18. Chase Elliott's third at plus 17. And then Denny Hamlin's fourth at plus 6. And below the cut line, Byron's fifth at minus 6. Briscoe's sixth at minus 9. Blaney's seventh at minus 11. And Christopher Bell's eighth at minus 23. And that one's more, complicated than, everything because Ross has a big lead, but someone could remember something and that could go away really fast. Chase Elliott plus 17. I mean, look, all the trouble he's had with Denny at Martinsville through the years, and they're going there next weekend. That could cause something. Not saying it's going to by any means, but that could cause something to happen. And we'll see how that goes. Briscoe, I'm not so sure about the consistency, but he keeps making his way in. Blaney at seventh, minus 11. He's still up there and consistent. He's just running with those guys, and I think he's going to need a win to get in just because the way everyone's been going. Christopher Bell pretty much has to win to get in because, well, Bubba. I know we can all play the what could have been, who knows, but where he was ranked compared to where he finished because of Bubba, that cost him all kinds of points. And really, though, Denny, he's won races, but the number plus 6, again, this could all change within 5 seconds, but plus 6, I'm just not feeling that's at least safe, especially with people like Byron behind him and how he has run at Homestead, Miami. Like that could be a completely different game changer. And again, anything can happen with him. And I know a lot of people owe Ross. I don't think this is the appropriate time to do it, but he's always said he has it coming, and people always say they don't forget. So that could be detrimental to him. And Chase Elliott, after the way he's run, luck the last couple of weeks, I don't know. They've been fast all year, so I don't see why they wouldn't do good. But I think he's much safer at plus 17, no matter where they go, than Denny. But again, there's next weekend. They could be, really good going into it, and they could have another run in, and all hell could break loose. But I think Denny's the most, concern that I have out of the guys up there, unless someone gets to Ross, which is very likely because, well, it's Ross Chastain. He cut down on the over aggressiveness for a while there, but it's still Ross. So I'm not trying to talk trash either, but look at all the stuff he's done. Anything could happen. Time will tell. I just know we don't have to worry about Joey. How about that? I do think, though, again, Byron's going to have a good run, just like Chase Elliott. They run good there. Just one of those things. There's nothing you can do about it. They run good. And I want to see what Kyle Busch can do. Again, crew chief gone, all of that. The 4-race suspension through the Clash next year. The crew members and all of it, just tire falls off under caution. I get it safety wise, but that compared to intentionally dumping someone and getting one race, especially the weekend his teammate, had to announce his retirement from a concussion. I think it deserved more, but we'll see. Should be good. I want to see what the racing can do though, because they did the tire test and a lot of people got experience there. A bunch of teams. I just want to see what it all plays out. With the aero package, with the new car at the track, just to see what they do because it's done a lot of weird stuff. And then there's also again Martinsville, and Denny was saying he was aero blocking people at Martinsville, which is the damnedest thing to keep himself from going down a lap. And the racing sucked last year, so I hope earlier this year. So hopefully this one's a good one, but a lot of good racing over the weekend. Yeah, F1, COTA, that's going to be spectacular. So make sure you're paying attention to that. I'm going to have an iPad or a phone running and the TV going or the projector going. Like it's going to be just, crazy trying to keep track of all of it, but it's going to be really, really good racing. I'm curious to see if anyone can lock themselves into the championship four. There's 3 chances for people to do it. Yeah, Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. Let's see if anyone can do it. And again, there's a lot of names that I have great faith that they can actually do it and lock themselves in. And all of them, it just depends on how it works out. Because look at the first rounds for a lot of them. We saw a lot of people win that weren't in. So have to see how that plays out. And now the news on Ty Dillon getting, a ride next year, full time driving the 77 for Spire, being Corey LaJoie's teammate. And I saw someone commenting that, he just overdrives his car. And yeah, that's his problem. He's got all this talent. But let's just go over some numbers. Just compared to his teammate who's won a race this year and looks good in Eric Jones in the 43. Eric Jones has 782 points, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 13 top 10s, 5 DNFs, 147 laps led. Ty Dillon, 490 points, 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 1 top 10, 8 DNFs, and 2 laps led. And he's only beating one driver in points that's full time out of the 30 drivers that have run full time. 1. Everyone else has not run full time. That's behind him. And look where his team is. He might not be the best in points, but again, 5 DNFs, that'll get you. You're only beating at this point, 33 races. You're only beating one person that's also run all the races. It's not a good look. It's not my favorite thing. I think that there's people that are much more deserving of a full-time ride than someone that's done absolutely nothing with their career. I'm not saying it to be a dick. We all know why he got the ride. I'd say correct me where I'm wrong, but everyone knows I'm not wrong on this. He shouldn't have it. I don't know what Spire's thinking. I mean, it didn't work in the 13. He only got one win, I believe, in the Xfinity series. In all those years, he's done nothing in the Cup series, and he's been violently outrun by his teammate all year, for the most part. And again, only one full-time driver is behind him in the points. I believe that's Corey LaJoie. He also had a bunch of bad lucks. And I just almost won a few, though. I just don't like it. And I think it's garbage that he's getting a ride. But again, go on Anchor, find it, leave a voice message. Let me know what you think. Comment on a video, comment on a post where I share everything. I just don't think it's warranted or earned in any way or even deserved. But again, look who his grandfather is. So I think that's a big help there. And then that gets us to the Bubba thing. To everyone comparing it to Matt Kenseth T-boning Joey Logano in Martinsville, different cars, different era. Drivers weren't getting concussions left, right, and indifferently, beaten up by the cars in wrecks. And they were going like 70. It was Martinsville. Wasn't all that full load in that. Then they get to Carl and Brad, I believe it was, in Atlanta, putting him into the fence again. He walked away from it, and look at the rules and everything back then, safety wise, safety crew members wise. Like all that was a completely different world. Was it? Was it not a good look? You bet your ass it wasn't a good look. But look at the rules back then and everything. Someone also said that Joey turned someone like that earlier this year. I don't remember seeing Joey hooking anyone, putting him into a wall anywhere near that fast of a speed after all these concussions. I don't remember it. Again, if you're listening, watching, whatever, comment and tell me where it was. I would love to see it. I just don't remember it happening. I don't think anyone's been that dumb or dangerous, especially after everything. When your teammate says he has to retire after 20 plus years because, from full time riding because of the concussion and all that, which I still think there's a little sketchiness in there. But when he does that, and you go and do that 10 seconds later, and then you have time to cool down, you know about Christopher Bell racing. But he had time to cool down. He doesn't care. Kyle didn't even touch him. He ruined all of their days and then blamed all of them for it because he has a temper and he's an ass. Now, if you bring up Noah in the Xfinity series, Sage Karam, Road America, turning him in front of the whole field, Noah didn't get fined anywhere near as much as he should have. Pretty sure every team he wrecked had to spend way more money than that on cars that he destroyed than he got fined anywhere near. And look at the wins he had and all that. And the points didn't make a lick of a difference because he had to win. He had to go way back. So those points weren't going to do anything. Honor points, it sucks, but they keep moving on in the playoffs. They keep moving on. So I thought that was egregiously low of a fine, too. And his words afterwards didn't do him any favors. So I'm on the side that Noah should have got more. Love the kid, think he's talented. That was a dumbass move. It's a dick move, whatever you want to call it. That was stupid. And then it comes to Bubba. Again, I don't remember Joey doing anything, but that fast, that speed, that part of the track, just coming down, hooking up to you, put yourself in the wall, then came down, made contact, and then say you lost your steering, even though they have the telemetry and saw you hook it that way and gun it to get to him. Like that was dangerous and stupid getting out of the car when you're not supposed to because of the safety protocol. Stupid. Walking down across the live track. Stupid. Shoving him into his car and shoving him that many more times afterwards. Stupid. Congratulations to Kyle Larson because that was a lose-lose. He swings back. We're going right back to 2020. He's never going to hear the end of it. And no way in hell he was killing. No way he was fighting Bubba. Bubba would wreck him. Kyle's just a whittle guy. No, I'm not calling him fat. I'm saying Bubba is way bigger than Kyle. So anyone talking about that, what was Kyle going to do? But then putting his hand on the official again, it happened. Yeah, I mean, just brushing him off. It's not like he went up and full body shoved him off of him or anything. So I was less concerned about that. Get your hand off me. Like, you see what just actually happened? Like, shouldn't be touching him anyway. But yeah, that one race, like he's down 15 to Eric Almirola and 45 to Busher, which means if Almirola has a garbage day, Bubba probably won't even lose. Like, he's not going to lose a spot in the points if Eric has a bad day. Maximum he's losing one spot. So it really did nothing, no fine, no anything, even though people lose a tire and they're gone until through the clash last year. It's just the way they officiate and the inconsistency is stupid. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow along on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all of it. Share it out. Let everyone know. Let me know what you think. And until next time, peace.